Welcome to Report Vikings. Today, we bring you two pieces of news that are shaking up the NFL world and could directly impact the future of the Minnesota Vikings. If you are a true Vikings fan and want to stay up to date with all the news and analysis, don't forget to subscribe to the Report Vikings channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any details about your favorite team. Now let's go to the first news. Minnesota Vikings bolster backfield with acquisition of Jordan Mason in trade with the 49ers. The Minnesota Vikings continue to move their roster for next season and, on Saturday, agreed to the arrival of running back Jordan Mason, coming from the San Francisco 49ers. The information was released by ESPN journalist Adam Schefter, who also detailed the terms of the contract. Mason signed for 2 seasons with the Vikings in a $12 million deal, with $7 million guaranteed. The addition of Mason promises to further strengthen the Minnesota team's ground game, which recently extended a 2-year contract with former Green Bay Packers player Aaron Jones. With that duo in the backfield, the Vikings hope to bring balance to the offense and ease the pressure on the quarterback, no matter who takes over as the starter this season. The details of the exchange. To acquire Mason, the Vikings sent the 49ers a 2026 sixth-round pick, plus the 160th pick in the 2024 draft. In return, in addition to receiving Mason, Minnesota also got this year's 187th pick, securing a small compensation for the future. Interestingly, the 2026 sixth-round pick was recently reclaimed by the Vikings in a trade with the Houston Texans involving guard Ed Ingram. That same pick was sent to Houston in the Cam Akers trade last season, showing how the Vikings are playing the market strategically. Jordan Mason, a reinforcement with great potential. At 25 years old, Mason has proven his worth in San Francisco by serving as a reliable backup to Christian McCaffrey. Last season, he rushed for 789 yards and scored 3 touchdowns in just 12 games before suffering a sprained ankle that ended his campaign prematurely. Even without star status, Mason demonstrated a physical and explosive style of play, capable of breaking tackles and gaining extra yards on difficult runs. Now, he arrives in Minnesota with a mission of sharing carries with Aaron Jones and bringing versatility to the Vikings' ground attack, which seeks to be more dynamic and efficient next season. With this new move, the Vikings continue to reshape their roster and position themselves to fight for a strong campaign in 2024. It remains to be seen whether the changes will bring the expected results on the field. Aaron Rodgers awaits Vikings' decision on his future. Legendary quarterback Aaron Rodgers may be looking forward to a new chapter in his career, but he already knows where he wants to play. According to a report from The Athletic, Rodgers wants to join the Minnesota Vikings and is waiting for the franchise to make its decision before deciding his future in the NFL. Even with offers from the Pittsburgh Steelers and New York Giants in hand, Rodgers has put both teams on hold, making it clear that his priority is Minnesota. According to league sources, there is even the possibility that the player will opt for retirement if the Vikings do not express interest in having him next season. Decision in the hands of Kevin O'Connell. The final decision appears to be in the hands of coach Kevin O'Connell. Vikings owners Zygi and Mark Wilf have traditionally taken a hands-off approach to front office decisions, allowing the management team and coaching staff to make the moves they deem best for the success of the franchise. This approach has paid off over the years, with Minnesota boasting the 7th best winning percentage in NFL history, .551, despite lacking a Super Bowl title. O'Connell has a solid track record as a coach, accumulating a regular season record of 34 wins and 17 losses. He has demonstrated his ability to get the best out of his quarterbacks, but has yet to lead the Vikings to a playoff victory. Now, he faces one of the most impactful decisions of his career: whether to bet on Rodgers, a proven veteran, or stick with J.J. McCarthy, a young quarterback who missed his entire rookie season due to injury, but has been touted by the coach as the future of the franchise. Rodgers, the missing piece to the Super Bowl. Minnesota has a talented offense full of options, with stars like Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, and Aaron Jones, Rodgers' former teammate on the Green Bay Packers. The team also invested in strengthening its offensive line during free agency and should count on the return of its starting left tackle, one of the best in the league. Given this scenario, it's understandable that Rodgers sees the Vikings as an ideal destination to attempt another Super Bowl run. Likewise, Minnesota may see the four-time league champion quarterback as the missing piece to take the team to the top. However, not everyone is convinced that the Vikings really want Rodgers. Denver Broncos reporter Benjamin Albright said Minnesota's interest in the quarterback has been greatly exaggerated. I'll be more blunt. The Vikings have no interest in Aaron Rodgers, despite his interest in them. Albright wrote on X, formerly Twitter. A short-term dilemma for the Vikings. Rodgers had a season below his own expectations last year, throwing for 3,897 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions, with a 63% completion rate. At 41 years old, he certainly doesn't represent the future of the franchise, and if signed, it would be a short-term solution, likely for just one season. This raises a fundamental question. Would bringing in Rodgers for an immediate title push be worth the risk of undermining J.J. McCarthy's confidence? The young quarterback was announced as the future of the team by O'Connell, and the arrival of a veteran like Rodgers could compromise that planning. The Vikings coach has a tough decision ahead of him. Can Rodgers still play at a high level? Is McCarthy ready to take over the lineup? Which one gives you the best chance of winning now? These are questions O'Connell needs to answer before taking the next step. Meanwhile, Rodgers continues to wait, hoping to repeat Brett Favre's trajectory and wear the Vikings jersey. It remains to be seen whether Minnesota is ready to embark on that journey with him. The Minnesota Vikings find themselves at a critical juncture, making decisions that could define the immediate future and the trajectory of the franchise in the coming years. With the arrival of running back Jordan Mason, the team strengthens its ground game, ensuring more depth and balance to the attack. At the same time, the potential arrival of Aaron Rodgers adds an element of uncertainty and expectation, with the veteran quarterback set to don the purple and gold, but it depends on Kevin O'Connell's decision. The Vikings are at a crossroads. Bet on a promising future with J.J. McCarthy or invest in one last card with Rodgers for an immediate run at the Super Bowl. Regardless of which path is chosen, Minnesota has all the pieces in place to remain competitive and star in one of the most intriguing narratives in the NFL this season. The outcome of these negotiations promises to shape the team's destiny and keep fans on the edge of their seats with every new move.